What's going on, my trainer club? There have been some big updates in the PvP system as well as some new legacy moves that come out. So today we're gonna check out as much as we possibly know right now. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, are you hyped about the new moves? There has been some new updates to the system as far as PvP goes. Let me know everything that you have to know because I am curious what you guys think, what you've seen, and what you are curious about. So today we're gonna get into the updates for the PvP system. We're also gonna get into some of the legacy moves, which a lot of people have questions about. Is it gonna be in your best entrance? Obviously for the top attackers, but then we're also gonna incorporate, is it gonna be a good impactful moveset in PvP as well? One more quick mention, up until tonight at midnight, you can go to thetrainerclub.com and get some of my hoodies, and then they're going to discontinue after tonight, so make sure to get your hands on some before the season runs out. And you got to stay warm because we are now in California. I am at the Long Beach Pike, which is where we are going to be doing Community Day for the LA Orange County area. So if you are anywhere in the area, make sure to come out here on Saturday from 11 to 2 p.m. to make sure to come and meet all of us in the Pike. So let's get into it right now. Starting off, we're going to check out the Pokemon Go Battle League updates that have been included in the announcement. So it looks like we're going to be going from rank 1 to 10. 10 is going to be highest. Once you get up a rank from battling, you are going to be at that rank. You cannot drop below it, according to the article, at least for the rest of the season. And the higher you get, the higher the rewards you're gonna have. And it says once you get to rank 10, you can battle with the best of them, but then it says if you lose, you can drop down. So I don't know if once you get to 10, you can then drop down or not, but we'll see more as the more details come out. But the other thing you have to note is you can't use more than one of the same species on your team. You can't have 2 or 3 of the same exact species. You have to be diverse. Also, we have a couple new updates to the PvP system, which is gonna be, previously we have looked at, and I've mentioned this before in some of my videos, the best of the best for the IVs for the PvP is gonna be typically like a 0, 15, 15. However, the new update, which is gonna kind of sway that a little bit, is going to include that the higher attack, if both Pokemon are to get their charge moves off at the same time, the Pokemon with the higher attack will have preferential to go first. I've said it in one of my other videos that I said, I prefer to have a 1 or a 2 attack. Number 1, because it could do a little bit more damage over time, but number 2, now, even further, this is gonna cement why you would have a little bit better of an attack and maybe not go for the best optimal 100% and maybe have like a 10, 15, or 20 if you have 1 or 2 attack, because if somebody else is using a 0 attack and you're using a 1 or a 2, you're gonna have preference to get your charge move off first, which gives you some interest and some strategy to think, okay, is it in my best interest to have the best overall PvP? And the last update we have is gonna be buffs and debuffs, which is basically gonna mean as you use specific moves, you're gonna basically have an increase in attack or a decrease in attack or whatever that is. So now when you switch Pokemon, you are going to clear out your increase in attack or decrease in attack or whatever that is for that specific move, because there are some type of abilities that come with some of the moves now. So once you switch Pokemon, you can clear if it's going to be degrading your ability to attack or defend, or if you're increasing your ability, it's going to want to help you stay in that Pokemon to make sure you don't switch. Now we're gonna check out a couple updates to some moves that have been updated that are going to be giving you a different type of energy production. Night Slash, to be able to get off, has been reduced so you can get it off quicker, and it has the ability to significantly increase your attack stat. Icy Wind, which actually is gonna be a legacy move on the Dugong, which has really buffed it up, is going to decrease your opponent's attack stat when you use it. So it's gonna be a very powerful move to be able to use, which has actually put the Dugong in rank 23. Hydro Cannon, unfortunately, as we mentioned in my comments of my last PvP video for Community Day, has been decreased a little bit. It was a little bit overpowered according to Pokemon Go Hub, so they have decreased it. So it's taken the Swampert from a rank 5 and moved it to 24. So a lot of people have asked, is it going to make Swampert irrelevant? No, because rank 24, you're still in the top 1 through 25. There's a decent amount of Pokemon, so it's definitely still a relevant Pokemon, just not quite as overpowered, not quite as intensely amazing like it was. Frustration and Return are now a little bit less spammy since a lot of Pokemon have access to it. They're going to take a little bit longer to charge, and they're going to be a little bit more powerful, so take that into account when you're using these movesets. Mud Slap has been increased overall, so it now has increased damage potential. Sand Tomb now charges quicker, so it's going to be a little bit more of a shield waster, and it's going to decrease the defense of the opponent by 1 every single time. Fortress Torterra Glysaur and Garchomp can now learn this moveset. Earthquake is going to be more powerful now, so I'm really excited to see how that influences the ground type attackers that have this Earthquake moveset that we've been looking to potentially get a better earth power on some of them. So maybe this significant increase will help out something like the Groudon to be a little bit more powerful like it deserves to be in the ground category, which it has definitely bumped it up because Groudon once was 1400 overall DPS times TDO. It is now sitting at 2000 with the buff in the moveset. Overheat, Draco Meteor, and Psycho Boost will now charge a little bit faster, but they're going to decrease your attack once you use it. So this may be a move that you would save up to use on your PvP Pokemon to use right before you die out so that when your attack decreases, it doesn't really matter that much. And finally, Close Combat is going to charge a little bit quicker, but it's also going to decrease the defense of your Pokemon when you use it. Now we're going to get onto some new moves that have been added. We have Octazooka, which is going to be for the Octillery and for the Kingdra. And for the Kingdra, it actually gives it quite a bit of a buff, and it's also going to charge slow and reduce your opponent's attack when used. Kingdra with this moveset is now going to be ranked 74. Mirror Shot is going to be a quick charge attack that is going to also potentially reduce the attack of your opponent. Fortress is going to be ranked when you utilize this moveset on it, so it's going to be a pretty powerful moveset. It's also going to decrease the attack of your opponent. Fell Stinger is a quick charged attack as well that can also reduce the attack of the opponent and is going to help out with the Drapion as well as the Beedrill. Aura Sphere that a lot of people have been talking about for quite some time is now available for the Lucario, which is absolutely insane because it literally just took Lucario from down on the fighting list and made it the #1 fighting attacker in the game above Conkeldurr, which is absolutely crazy. It's at 2400 for the DPS times TDO. It is going to sit above the Machamp, which is at 1800. So fighting attackers move over. We now have a new best fighting attacker in the game. So maybe at some point this could get buffed, but at this point right now it is sitting as the #1 fighting attacker in the game, which is absolutely mind-blowing. Finally, we have the superpower that is going to be charged up quickly as a charge attack and reduce the attack and the defense. Pokemon that can have it are going to be Pinsir, Snorlax, Hariyama, Rhyperior, and Melmetal. So those are some unique Pokemon. This is really exciting to see this come about. That one's not really going to be an influential one as far as the PvE system goes for the raids and the attackers, but for the PvP, it's definitely going to make some headway. There is so much going on right now, guys. I just want to go over a quick couple other movesets that have been added to a different Pokemon. So Cloyster is going to be able to get Icy Wind to make this defensive Pokemon a little bit more defensive. Feraligatr is now going to get Ice Fang, which is a pretty cool moveset. Porygon 2 and Porygon Z are now going to get Lock On, which is going to generate energy quickly, dealing a little bit of damage, but it's pretty cool combination there. Then Celebi is going to get the Seed Bomb. Shiftry is now going to get Snarl, along with Razor Leaf, and Snarl should be pretty popular to help with the Swampert and the Giratina. And then here is the most impactful overall is going to be Kyogre Surf, which we are going to cover in tomorrow's video. You guys definitely want to check out that video. And then we have Licky Licky, which is now going to get Shadow Ball. That makes it even better against the ghost type Pokemon. And then another one that we're also going to cover is going to be the Tangrowth with the Power Whip, which is really effective in its new moveset. And then as well, one more, if I could say it again, is going to be Heatran with the Flamethrower. Is going to bump it up in the top fire attackers in the game. Tangrowth and Heatran definitely got some bumps with their movesets. And then finally we have the Stoutland with the Ice Fang to help Stoutland become a little bit more diverse as a normal type attacker. So now we're going to get into the legacy movesets that have come back and to see where it stacks up for PvP and for PvE, which is going to be attacker purposes right now. I know you guys have been waiting for this. We have the Shadow Claw back on the Gengar, so I'm excited to see where these guys actually sit overall. Jumping right into it, we have all of the attackers. We're going to go one by one right now. So we have Arcanine with Flamethrower. Unfortunately, there are so many more better suited fire type attackers than there is going to be with Arcanine. So Flamethrower doesn't really do all that much for Arcanine for either of the categories of attackers or PvP. So unfortunately, it's not going to be the best, but it is pretty cool that it's back. So moving on to the next move, everyone that has been trying to trade for a Poliwrath with the Mudshot can now be relieved because Mudshot is backed. It is going to be the best moveset for the Poliwrath when you're using it in the trainer battles for PvP. So that is a big relief. Congratulations to the trainers that have been looking for that moveset. According to pvpoke.com, it's going to be ranked 86 if you use the Mud Shot combined with the Dynamic Punch and the Ice Punch combination. However, Pokemon Go Hub is wrecking Power Up Punch, so whichever one you use, you guys can check that out, but make sure to run it, try it out, see what works best for your team. Machop just got the Cross Chop back, so unfortunately it's not going to be an attacker moveset, but for PvP it's great. It is actually going to rank the Machop at a rank 12 right now with the Counter, Cross Chop, and Rock Slide combination. Super effective. And the Golem gets the Ancient Power back, but unfortunately Golem has been outclassed so many times by so many different Pokemon. It used to be the premier rock and ground type attacker in Gen 1, but is no longer that case. It is actually going to be ranked 174 in PvP with Mud Shot, Ancient Power, and Earthquake, so it's not really that viable for top attackers either, unfortunately. And then we have the Shadow Claw returning to the Gengar. So here it is. Theoretically, this article says from Pokemon Go Hub that Shadow Claw is the best Gengar type attack move, but as far as the top attackers DPS times TDO, when I pull it up, Lick is going to be just slightly better, but Lick is a legacy moveset that we got only from raids, so the Shadow Claw is going to be the top attacker moveset right now that is available for the Gengar. That's so close to Lick, it's not really that big of a difference. But Shadow Claw, as far as PvP goes, is a great move. It's up there with the other movesets that are really good, like Counter, Dragon Breath, and Confusion. Unfortunately, Gengar is just a little bit too glassy, so something like a Drifblim would be more effective in its place as opposed to using a Gengar that is more glassy, more attacker type, but doesn't really hold too much weight in the top attackers, because now in the PvP system, we have the Giratina where it can be used because it can't get into the Great League, unfortunately, yet. And also, for the ghost type attackers, we now have the Giratina as well. Either form differential, but the origin form for the top attackers and the altered form for the top PvP Pokemon when you can get into the Ultra and the Master League. Executor is going to get the Confusion back, which is a pretty powerful moveset. Unfortunately, it gets outclassed pretty much everywhere. PvP, it's going to be ranked 224 if you want to check out the movesets. It's not the best Pokemon, but it is pretty cool. I really like the Executor. It used to be really powerful, but no longer is it so. Fury Cutter is back for Pinsir, which increases its raid capabilities by 15%, which is pretty awesome. Really like this. It also increases its PvP capabilities. It's going to be ranked 124 with Fury Cutter, Close Combat, and X Scissor that are going to be the moveset combination that you want for the Pinsir, so it's definitely a sleeper Pokemon that's not in the top 100, but it could definitely be a shakeup and a pretty increased damage Pokemon that you're using in PvP that you throw in there. Dragon Breath is now going to be back, and Dragon Tail for the Gyarados. Unfortunately, it doesn't get the stab type advantage. However, it can be pretty surprisingly in the PvP system. It's going to be ranked 162 with the Dragon Breath, Outrage, and the Crunch combination. And Twister, as of right now, is back. However, it's not really that effective, right? It's just not that crazy good of a move. Maybe at some point it will get a buff that will make it significant, which would be pretty cool. And then we have the Snorlax, which has the Body Slam. Body Slam is going to be a pretty spammy moveset with the Zen Headbutt combination, so I'm excited to have this Pokemon back in gyms. It's really quick. It's quite annoying to take down, and then also for the PvP system, it makes it a little bit more of a spammy Pokemon, which definitely increased its rank. Snorlax is ranked 62 now with Lick, Body Slam, and Super Power. That could be in the PvP system, so it's going to be a unique Pokemon. It's in the top 100 now, which is really cool. Munchlax, still a little bit more effective, but this is also a really cool alternative and really brings some more diversibility to the table. And finally, the Dragon Breath and the Dragon Claw is back for the Dragonite. According to Pokemon Go Hub, the article says that it is 5% better in combination with the Dragon Breath and the Outrage compared to the Dragon Tail and the Outrage, but when I look up the DPS times TDO, it doesn't look so much. So it looks like the Dragon Tail Outrage, as far as a top attacker, is going to be around 2,900, when the DPS times TDO for the Dragon Breath Outrage is going to be about 2,600. So it looks like the optimal moveset for attackers is still going to be the Dragon Tail. However, for the PvP system, it is going to be the Dragon Breath and the Dragon Claw combination that is so valuable. In my last video that I talked about it, it was mentioned that Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw was really good, but its both legacy is now available for you guys to utilize. With the combination of Dragon Breath, Dragon Claw, and then you can always throw a surprise moveset on there. It's going to be ranked 60 with the Draco Meteor. What you could do in a good strategy would be to use your Dragon Breath and save it up as if you're going to use Hyper Beam, and then you could be able to waste shields of your opponent really fast by spamming off those Dragon Claws, because they don't have a way to see what moveset you have if you're going to overcharge that move and then have it as far as PvP goes. So those are all the updates for you guys. I am super impressed about this Lucario, so it's definitely a moveset that you want, a top fighting attacker in the game. And then PvP, we have a decent amount of updates too. So I appreciate you guys for being here. All my likers, commenters, subscribers, and Patreon members for taking their subscriptions to the next level. I'm going to see you out on that next video. Peace! I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.